What's up, y'all? We got the two best words in sports after Super Bowl Game 7. I cannot express how happy I am. Me, as well as several Spurs fans, saw the ref assignments for this game, and I was a little furious. Um, they got another Jay Will out there refing, and I was so upset, but this might have been his redemption game. Maybe the NBA was like, "Hey, if you can't ref this one fairly, you're done." um, but yeah, I do want to say I didn't see really a single issue here when it came to fouls. I do think that there were a few missed calls. I do think that there was that, but I think it went pretty evenly here. A lot of this game was kind of just play on basketball, and yeah, I think we saw the purest form of hoops here. And yes, it was a huge blowout. That doesn't necessarily mean the Spurs are a better team. I think that the Spurs also played their best basketball in this game, um, with a weak J Dub. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So, talking more about J Dub here. Yeah, I was very surprised that they gave him any minutes at all. I think the idea was to give him the Anthony Edwards treatment, where you played him in short bursts, and if he's playing well, you keep him playing. Like, Ant played extremely well in game one of that Spurs series, obviously taking that game on the Spurs home court. And I think that was the same idea that they were trying to implement here with J Dub, bring him off the bench, playing him in limited minutes. I'm sorry, it says 25. Oh, okay, sorry. Wrong Jalen Williams. So, yeah, J Dub plays a total of 10 minutes here, which is honestly minus 18 and 10 minutes is kind of crazy. But yeah, he doesn't look healthy. I would have sat him for the entire game. And I think if you sit him for the entire game here, you have more opportunity to really just put in the players that have been doing well here. But overall, pretty poor night for all of OKC. Again, um, Lou Dort shot 11 shots in this game, which 9 3-pointers. They were kind of just letting him shoot it. And, he is that corner three knockdown, but you let him take these top of the key contested looks, late shot clock looks, and yeah, he goes 1 for 9, 2 for 11 from the field overall. So kind of like what we saw from Devin Vassell in the previous game, and that is pretty much going to kill any team. There was a stretch in this game where the Spurs held the Thunder to 0 points for about 8 minutes or 7.5 minutes, and that's where they take the strongest lead of the game, and it was the most commanding sequence I've seen in this entire series. These are two very good basketball teams. You're never going to really see one shut out the other. And even though the Spurs had this 15-0 start, uh, that was just an electric shooting night, mixed with great defense, of course. But 7 minutes consistently stopping what, a top three offense in the NBA consistently. I get they don't have two great scorers on their team, but they have the league's MVP. I don't think you can ask for more. It's one of the greatest runs we will ever see by a basketball team ever in a closeout game, and yeah, going on a little bit more about Jared McCain, I think that Jared McCain was getting shut out here. They weren't letting him shoot threes. They were forcing him to drive, go into the contested shots with Wemby in the paint. And that really made a difference here, not giving him that direct edge that he was really good at. And honestly, there was a moment there, I think early in the first quarter, where Jared McCain hits his first three of the game, and I was like, okay, this lead's about to dissipate. This kid is going to go crazy. But amazing perimeter defense, holding him to only 3 attempts on the night. That is exactly what I want to see. And I mean, in a game where SGA only goes to the line 3 times, he has 15 points, 6 for 18 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. This is crazy. I think it's one thing to hold the MVP to 15 points in a game that they can close you out and get basically a week's rest before the NBA Finals and play in their home court again, take a flight home. I don't know what I saw out of this Thunder team today. No one looked ready for the game. The bigs here combined for 20 points and 16 boards, which is, again, a pretty solid stat line. That's like one Wemby right there, which, you know, 2 players, 1 Wemby. That's great, I guess. But yeah, you see the minutes are pretty split in this game just because it was a blowout very early. But yeah, I don't really think there's too much to say on the OKC side. I think we're going to see a healthier J-Dub in the next game, and that's something that the Spurs should be ready for. Not getting lazy on J-Dub, realizing that he is an elite NBA player and can kill you at any moment. And yeah, just making sure that we keep the same intensity. Sorry, family came home. And let's get back into this. Looking over here at what the San Antonio Spurs were really able to do here, Devin Vassell went 4 for 7 from 3. Just shot 7 threes and made 4 of them. An incredible showing here by Vassell. Being a true 3-and-D player here. And when I talk about defense, oh my goodness, those 2 blocks that he has does not talk about the intensity and what he did for this team defensively. I've been calling him the X Factor on this team. On Twitter, I've been talking about him with my friends as the X Factor. He really showed why he is one of the most important players on this team. Third highest, I guess, still in Harper off the bench at 19. But third highest plus minus on this game. And it really just, every second that I saw Vassell on the floor, it felt like it was winning basketball. Champagny here doesn't really shoot the ball too much. He did mainly just chuck up threes here. Took two normal shots and both them went in, or 2-pointers and they both went in here. Wemby obviously has the monster game here with 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2, and 3, and I'm gonna say 4 blocks. That wasn't really a goaltend, but honestly, the reffing wasn't really bad on either side, so I'm not gonna sit here and complain about a goaltend call here. And then De'Aaron Fox really struggled in this one. 1 for 9. And in the previous games, he just didn't look good. As in, he looked injured. In this game, I didn't see that from De'Aaron Fox. I saw more of, I don't really know what's going on here. This is not the same guy that I'm accustomed to seeing, and yeah, it was a little brutal to watch. What I will say about that at the same time is that he still puts up 5 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists here on this shooting, and he has a plus minus of 17, which is the 4th highest on the team. And what I really understand here is that De'Aaron Fox Obviously, he's 29 years old. He's in the prime of his basketball career, but he doesn't seem like he's in the prime of his basketball career, and Spurs fans have seen it all year. Even if he's not in the prime of his career, it's okay because what he's doing is he's being a teacher. He's giving Castle the chance to play off the ball until like Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant develop. And he's doing it effectively. He's passing the ball well in this game. 0 turnovers. That was the biggest issue that he's had all game. The most turnovers that we had this game are 3 from Wemby. It's actually even on the turnover battle, which is quite interesting in a 27-point blowout. But yeah, I think the conversation about Dylan Harper, and I'm also guilty of this, really stemmed from his injury. In these past couple of games, he has definitely still been injured. That hamstring has not been good because the Dylan Harper that came out here tonight was amazing. Comes out here tonight with 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, 4 free throws, the second highest plus minus on the team. There's not much I can say. The future looks so great in San Antonio, and Dylan Harper is a major reason for that. Right now, obviously, I am team De'Aaron Fox. I want De'Aaron Fox on this team. I think that he is doing so much for this team. But when De'Aaron Fox is done, oh man. Putting Dylan Harper in the starting lineup with Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. If Champagnie keeps it going, we keep Champagnie in there and Wemby in the center. This team is going to be great. And this is just another showing of it. Keldon, I don't know who I saw. I watch a lot of basketball on the internet. I watch a lot of basketball physically. I saw someone talk about how Keldon Johnson plays like he wants to get his. And that might be the most accurate description of what Keldon Johnson has been doing all series ever. He plays the game like his stats are going to get him anything. If we win the series, like Stephon Castle could average 30, 10, and 10. And Wemby is probably going to get the Finals MVP or the Western Conference Finals MVP if the Spurs win. So I don't really know what exactly he's trying to do here. There's no more awards to be won. Play for the championship, do what the team needs. And yeah, I really hope that he can turn it around. He did have a pretty good game here. But yeah, even those missed shots did not look like shots Keldon Johnson off the bench should be taking, especially considering the teams he was out there with. Of course, the Nuns were there this game, and I don't really know if it had that much of an effect on Luke Cornett this game, but Luke Cornett did not play bad. What they did talk about a lot on this broadcast was the without Wemby minutes this game were not bad at all. They played great basketball with Wemby on and off the floor. And that really comes down to the depth of this team where Luke Cornett is holding his own a little bit defensively. Obviously, he's never going to be the same level as Wemby, but keeping this team in it, making sure that it's not a losing pattern. And yeah, I think that this was a great basketball by the entire team. Harrison Barnes obviously knocks down those 2 threes late. Just kind of like, not to ice the game, but pretty much put to bed any ideas of an OKC comeback. Carter Bryant. Oh my god. His 2 points are an electric dunk, but his two fouls. That first foul was, Jesus Christ. That was, I don't know if it was the first one, but the one where he trucks SGA and there was a whole flagrant review. Honestly, I wouldn't have even minded if they gave him the flagrant for that. That was so goddamn funny. I have never laughed so hard, and I was really happy watching this. And yeah, I don't really know what else there was about this game to really say. Into the next game, what I really do think is going to be the difference maker is, will Wemby keep the same kind of intensity? They talked about it all game on the broadcast. Wemby took 8 shots, I believe, or 9 shots in the first quarter alone. He took a bunch of threes again this game, where he shot 9 threes and made 4 of them. This is a game where I'm okay with Wemby taking that many threes because he was draining the first few that he was putting in. But I still think he was taking a few too many bad shots here. I think he was settling on a few threes, pulling up like he's Kevin Durant. And again, he has the ability to do some of these crazy things, but at the end of the day, he also has the ability to get his head down on the rim and take a high percentage shot. And I would really much prefer that. At the end of the day, this is a win, and I'm happy with it, but I don't want to see that same kind of settling in Game 7. Even if he is making them, I don't think you're even if the refereeing is the same, I don't think you're getting another 15-point game out of Shea. I don't think that Jared McCain is going to shoot 36%. I don't think Lou Dort is going to go 1 for 9 for 3. I don't think Alex Caruso is only going to take 7 shots, only take 3 threes. He still shot it pretty efficiently here, but I don't think that a lot of these outcomes are replicable. And I don't want the Spurs to believe that this is a rhythm, this is the key to beating OKC, believing that this defense is going to hold them to these mythical numbers. At the end of the day, our defense is amazing. Our defensive rating when Wemby is on the floor is amazing. A lot of this game was won because Wemby was able to sit down and play conditioned basketball the entire way through. What we will need to see on Saturday is a Wemby that can play 48 minutes, a potential probably overtime game, where we have a shorter rotation, where we really want to see the Spurs put in the most effort possible. Yeah, this is a backs against the wall game. This is a must-win game, but so is the next one. And they talked about this on the broadcast. Only De'Aaron Fox has been in an elimination game before. And I really hope that now that they've been in one, they understand what it means. And for OKC here, like, obviously not an OKC fan, but again, they're not going to shoot this poorly, and I really think that a truly healthy J-Dub is going to change completely what we're seeing here. Obviously, if we played consistent basketball, if Game 5 and Game, was it 2, weren't refereed in the way that they were, the series would already be over. But at the end of the day, we're going to Game 7. We have an opportunity to take this on their home court. But their second best player, an all NBA caliber player, a dude who dropped 40 when they needed it, against the Pacers in the NBA Finals, is coming back to play Game 7 and likely will play most of the minutes. You might get an AJ Mitchell to come off the bench and lead the bench group, where I don't think that AJ Mitchell was playing that great against the elite defenders. Again, I'm going to UC Santa Barbara. Shout out AJ Mitchell. Love that man, but I don't think he fares that well against the Dylan Harper, Stephon Castles, Devin Vassell's, even Keldon Johnsons of the world. Um, so, but at the end of the day, he will do numbers on a Harrison Barnes or on a switch onto Champagny or De'Aaron Fox. So, really making sure that we take advantage of our matchups here, understanding that they will probably be getting healthy at the right time here. Um, and, as Kobe once said, job's not finished. One more game. This team, this team that I thought if we made the playoffs, we would be the 7th seed, probably playing we're either playing OKC in the first round or we're playing the Nuggets, and we're probably getting out of there in 5 games. And by out of there, I mean we're sending our asses to Cancun. And here we are, 1 game away from the NBA Finals. I don't really know what will happen. I hope that this is a good game. Again, I think this was a better basketball game today. I think that, matter of fact, let's take a look. 14 fouls on the Spurs side, 21 fouls on OKC side. So if you want to say it was lopsided towards the Spurs, sure. I never think that a 27-point game is going to be dictated by the fouls. I mentioned this in my last video. Most of the time, these closer games are going to be the ones where you can point out fouling differences. This is not one of them. And if you want to say that, the 2 games that San Antonio blew out the Thunder, both games were fouled, or the refs were on the Spurs side. If the Thunder can barely beat the Spurs by double digits, and the Spurs blow the Thunder out of the fucking water, when each team has their reffing advantage, then clearly there is one better team here. But yeah, I really don't think that there's any way that you could show me an argument that there was a significant reffing advantage here. Even if San Antonio got some sort of advantage here, in your opinion, I don't think it was in any way significant to the way that this game shaped out. This was just a very poor game from OKC, a very poor game from SGA, and a very good game from the Spurs. Just like I would say for Game 3, very poor game by the Spurs. The Game 2, Game 5, there was definitely a significant change due to what we saw in the refereeing. And I finally saw the talking heads on Twitter talk about it. So, hey, I feel vindicated. But Game 7, Saturday, that's the 30th of May, 5 p.m. You best believe I will be sitting there. Not sitting. I will be standing 2 feet away from my TV, screaming at every single play, clapping my hands after every made free throw. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Go Spurs, go.